You see it everywhere. It's on fences, walls, and buildings. Sometimes bright and colourful, and other times messy. For some, though, it's their profession. The question is mural art a career path that can promote engagement in STEM learning? What are the STEM practices associated with this line of work? I spoke to local business owner Sancho Murphy, whose portrait also features in a nearby mural, about what's involved in this type of work.
I guess under the aerosol umbrella, it splits off into two, like street art and graffiti, where street art I guess is more picture based, graffiti is more letter based, and then within that sort of graffiti branch, you've got pieces, throw ups, tags, wild style, I guess that sort of divides that slice of the scene a little bit further. Low pressure is good for people starting out because the paint comes out slower. You can sort of take your time learning can control. It's good for smaller scale things, detail work. High pressure cans, like a lot of the graffiti artists who are bombing will gravitate towards that because the paint output is a lot faster. You can cover a larger surface area in a shorter amount of time. Each brand has 10 or 15 or 20 different nozzles now that they offer for essentially being able to execute different line widths or different line effects. So you can get skinny caps right down to half a centimeter or just under, to spray widths of 50 centimeters, 80 centimeters on a high pressure can. And calligraphy style, drippy style. If you want short, sharp, clean lines, you can do that. Or if you want fat, fuzzy lines or hollow flares, there's something for everything. The way I started was transitioning from sketchbook to the public was paste ups and stickers in the early days, and I just had this image of Sancho Panza on a donkey, and I just replicated that, and it was just my whole idea was I'm gonna burn this image in people's minds by just having it everywhere, so it just becomes this visceral experience. And then that sort of then jumped onto t-shirts, and that was sort of that image became my logo for the t-shirt brand, and I would do designs for friends in bands, or I do tattoo designs for friends.
I noticed one of my colleagues is always wearing t-shirts from his hip-hop dance group that feature artwork by a known local artist. I arranged a meet-up with this artist, Lawrence Tan, to discuss the process behind his work. Unfortunately, the microphone wasn't working, so the whole interview was lost. However, Lawrence was able to tell me about the digital tools and processes used to create these shirts. He also shared the steps on his journey of becoming a mural artist, and how he was constantly exploring new techniques and ideas and challenging himself to grow as an artist. He shared about how he thinks critically about the way that light interacts with his subjects to create depth, as seen here with this skull, which conveniently turned up in my stock footage. And while I was collecting this footage, I heard the rattle spray of some artists at work inside the building. So I popped inside and had a quick chat with them about their knowledge and aspirations.
Sort of a different perspective on things. You see a scrappy tag on the side of the road or something, I don't know. The bigger picture, I guess. You just gotta have a good view on what is art and what's not. Yeah. Because there's a fine line between what's art and graffiti and what's just vandalism, if you know what I mean. There's heaps of different casts, different brands of tins and stuff, I don't know.
So how do you learn that knowledge?
Just get into it, really. If you have a passion for something, I don't know, yeah, get into it, you learn about it. I see a lot of people out there making it a career, making money off of it, living. I don't know, I've been doing it for a while now, I definitely could see myself doing it.
So curiosity and exploration, it seems, leads to an increased knowledge and skill in this field. Another tool becoming more frequently used by mural artists is virtual reality. I jumped online and had a chat with D-Mac, a carpenter from Adelaide, about connections between his art and his work.
Yeah, because you want to make everything perfect, you know. I'm perfectionist, really. So if something's not right, then I need to make it perfect, otherwise it doesn't head in. I'm a carpenter, bro. Probably working out angles, and it's in a different sort of way you work it out, but from the start to the finish, what it is at the start and then what you make it to be at the end. perseverance for it. I can persevere my job exactly the same as the way I do art, really. Like doing something from the ground up, and then if it's getting a bit hard, you just got to keep going and you got to work with it and make it better, you know.
Speaking of perseverance, over the past couple of months, a local community artist, Tracy Hall, produced this mural in my neighbourhood. At one point, I was able to join her in painting, and we've kept in contact. She talked to me about some of the work she's been doing with the young people in the area.
So I've been working recently with the Lanyon High School. I've been working with Mural, the youth centre, and Cornwall High School. So to try to say to people and send the message of, yes, there's tagging out there and I get it and I get why you want to do it, it's a rush, all of that. But there's also mural art out there and it can be done. And it's how you do it, it's your approach, it's how you involve the community, it's all of that sort of stuff. From an educational point of view, what I've actually able to do as well is reach some people to extend their creativity. So I ran 3 or 4 workshops only recently with some Year 10 students that are what they call frequent flyers, so they don't always frequent school a lot, but I had them sitting there for 2 hours drawing with me and creating some amazing work. So it's a way of engaging, it really is. And really fascinated not just with the art itself, but the fascination with the different spray cans, the fascination with the different connections, what you can do if you're an engineer of how to actually put some of these different things together, the fascination with, even to the point of what chemicals do you use to clean everything, what safety gear to use. They get down into all the nitty-gritty about it. But the thing is, what I was able to do for just running these workshops is maybe influence or maybe enhance their interest to the point that they might now go, oh, actually, I could do some really cool stuff.
And this was the point that my microphone stopped working. But I think what Tracy was about to say is that given the opportunity and resources, students normally disengaged with the education system demonstrated self-belief and a passion for learning. The STEM practices attached to producing mural art include ideas such as problem solving, designing a building, as well as exploring and challenging. It involves the methods of generating ideas, using appropriate language and vocab, and of course using tools to produce artifacts. And the values of curiosity, imagination, creativity, teamwork, and persistence are all present too.
It's an owl.
An owl? An owl.
An owl.